Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by the all-new Honda Civic, now available with Turbo, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Welcome to Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. This is the third and final game of this short three-game road trip for the Blue Jays. They had a disappointing loss yesterday. Lost 4-3 to a walk-off base hit by Curt Casale. The Blue Jays, for the month of April, they went 11-14. They find themselves 4 games back. And we thought we'd take a look at the team last year during the month of April. They had a similar record, but they're quite a bit different in several categories.
Let's look at some of these pitching categories. First of all, they won the same amount of games, 11, but the pitching was much better, almost a full run better this month as opposed to last April. Opponent's batting average much better. The whip, they allowed fewer home runs, so you would think that the record would be better. But the reason it hasn't been is because the hitting really hasn't been up to par, especially to last year's team. They're averaging a run and a half fewer. In 2016, they've hit their home runs. They actually hit more than they did last year. But it's the hitting with runners in scoring position that has really hurt the Blue Jays. 56 points lower this April than what we saw last year.
Blue Jays managed just 3 hits in the game yesterday. Take a look at the lineup for John Gibbons as they start the month of May. Jose Bautista has put up big numbers against the Rays. 29 home runs against Tampa Bay for his career. Chris Davis is next. Davis has hit 23 against the Rays. Kevin Pillar has good numbers against the Rays starter Jake Odorizzi. 4 for 11 with 3 extra base hits, and overall Kevin Pillar is really starting to swing the bat much better.
Jake Odorizzi is a good pitcher, but he's off to a slow start this year. Hasn't gone past 5 innings in his last 2 starts and only had 1 strikeout in his last start. He has pitched well here at Tropicana Field, 255 earned run average since the start of 2014 in his career versus the Blue Jays. 2-2 with a very good earned run average of 364. That's 7 appearances, all of them starts.
So the Blue Jays have split the first 2 games. They won here on Friday night 6-1. They hit 4 home runs in that game and lost 4-3 yesterday with that walk-off base hit off the bat of Curt Casale, the catcher.
9 runs, Buck, on 10 hits in the series against Tampa Bay, and they could be 2-0.
Michael Saunders, he takes the first pitch outside, and we are underway. Saunders really swinging the bat well. He has done a great job since moving into that leadoff spot. 3-11 for the season. Fouls this one into the seats out of play.
Says he's just a more confident hitter right now, and you can see what he has done over his last 13 games. A guy who's been in the big leagues for a couple of years is not going to go down after a couple of offers. They're going to feel still good about themselves. Remember, Michael sat out 3 games back at home and picked up where he left off.
1-1 pitch inside off the plate. Jake Odorizzi, as Pat mentioned, has 4 no decisions. He's 0-1. This is his 6th start of the season.
His stuff is really good, but you have to be patient with him.
That ball is hit but foul down the right side.
He's a lot like Chris Archer, who we saw yesterday. He'll throw a lot of pitches in an inning. Right now, he's averaging 18 pitches per inning. That's tied for the 6th most in the American League. He's tied with Chris Archer. Got to make him throw it over.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Another foul. Odorizzi has a very good split finger pitch. He'll throw it quite a bit, and it's a pitch that he uses as his off-speed pitch.
It's a changeup split, if you will. That was taught to him by his teammate Alex Cobb, where he splits his fingers and it works as a changeup. He'll use it a lot. I think that was it right there.
84 miles an hour, and just takes enough off that split finger pitch and gets the foul ball. Odorizzi has pitched very well here at Tropicana Field since 2014. He's pitched to a 255 earned run average. Pretty good pitch. He didn't get to call. Tom Howdy and the veteran behind the plate.
I'll tell you what, if you stay down there, you're not going to get hurt. Pretty good pitch. He rode that fastball right down at the bottom part of the strike zone. But Tom Hallion says low.
Saunders is aboard, a leadoff walk. That'll start things off for the Blue Jays. Let's take a look at the defense for Tampa Bay. So far this season, they've committed 13 errors. In the outfield, Brandon Guyer starts for the third straight day in this series. Kevin Kiermaier and Steven Souza Jr. center and right. Evan Longoria has committed 1 error. Brad Miller, the shortstop. Logan Forsythe, he's off to a great start with the glove and the bat. Logan Morrison is back at first, and Hank Conger makes his first start of this series this afternoon.
We saw something very rare yesterday. That's Kevin Kiermaier in center field. 131 games started last year, all but 2 in center field. He was the 6th Ray to win a Gold Glove.
Ground ball. Forsythe will go to second, step on the bag, throw to first, double play. Donaldson hit it hard, but right into the shift. And they turn it quickly into a double play. That erases the leadoff walk.
Boy, one of the reasons why it's so tough to hit nowadays, the shifts. And this is a base hit back in the day. This is a solid single to center field. Donaldson does everything correctly, trying to stay in the middle of the diamond, but there's a guy standing there, and instead of a single to center, it's a double play.
Jose Bautista batting with 2 outs. Takes the first pitch strike. Off the plate. Bautista hit his 5th home run of the season yesterday. Blue Jays, they just couldn't get much going offensively. Bautista's home run, a 2-run homer in the 5th inning off Chris Archer.
You know, and Archer wasn't very sharp yesterday. Couldn't get his slider over. His changeup wasn't as good as it was in his previous start. And Blue Jays just couldn't handle it. They were missing a lot of pitches.
Strike 3 called. Jake Odorizzi, a good inning to start the ball game. Double play and the strikeout. 3 up, 3 down. Marcus Stroman will take the mound when we come back to Tropicana Field. He's pitching on his 25th birthday. The Rays 11-12 for the month of April. They are 3 games back in 3rd place in the AL East. Let's take a look at the lineup for Tampa Bay. Top of the order is Logan Forsythe. He has been red hot. Number 3 hitter Evan Longoria. Against Marcus Stroman, he's got big numbers, 5 for 9 with a double home run and 3 RBIs. And Kevin Kiermaier, he has always been a thorn in the Blue Jays' side. They got a big hit in yesterday's game, a double in the 9th inning to set up the winning rally. Last time they have tried to get him out, they just haven't had much success. He swings the bat well against the Blue Jays.
And it's on Marcus Stroman to shut him down. 6th start of the season for Stroman, just his 30th of his big league career. And he has pitched really well. 3-0 with an ERA of 4.37. One of the reasons why that earned run average is up. 7 runners are on base when he has left the game this year. They have all come around to score. He has led a couple of games that he has been taken out of, and they lost the lead where he picked up a no decision, like in his last start. He had a 5-1 lead after pitching 6 2/3 innings. The bullpen coughed that up. So He could easily be 5-0 this year.
Logan Forsythe grounds it up the middle, sneaks through for another hit. When you're hot, you're hot. Forsythe has had a big series. That's his first hit against Marcus Stroman. He's now 1 for 5 against Stroman. Defensively, the Blue Jays set up like this on Sunday afternoon. Michael Saunders, Kevin Pillar, and Ezequiel Carrera in right. Bautista's the DH today. Donaldson, Tulowitzki, Goins, and Encarnacion around the infield. And behind the plate, Russell Martin making his second start in the series. He came in late in the game defensively yesterday.
You know, we talked about something that was very rare yesterday when talking about these center fielders. They each made an error. Kiermaier was the Gold Glove winner. Pillar made his first error yesterday since June the 23rd of last year. Right here in Tampa Bay was the last time he made an error last season.
Brad Miller drives it deep to center field. Pillar's on the run. He's going to run it down. Forsythe was all the way on the shortstop side of second. He had to retag the bag. And Kevin Pillar, showing his great range and determination, ran that one down just shy of the warning track in center.
You know, that's why we highlighted the two center fielders, because they're two of the best in all of baseball. Kiermaier for Tampa Bay and now Pillar for the Blue Jays. He's very determined in the outfield. He knows exactly where he is. That's probably the biggest part of this ballpark, in that left center field area. He knew he had to go a long way to run that one down.
This is Evan Longoria. We mentioned his run against Marcus Stroman. He's 5 for 9 with a home run and a double. Oh, and 1. Pulled foul. Looked like an off-speed pitch.
Well, you have to be strong defensively up the middle. You can see Kevin Pillar shading Miller towards left center field, figuring he wasn't going to get around on that fastball, and he doesn't. He runs it down. Good scouting report, a good route by Kevin Pillar, and those type of balls you got to run right through them.
Breaking ball, and Longoria strikes out. 2-away here in the bottom of the first.
We talked about it in the opening that this could be a good matchup for Marcus Stroman. This is a free swinging team, the Tampa Bay Rays. And Marcus always seems to be around the plate with his slider or his two-seamer. If he keeps it down and keeps them swinging, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs. 14 times that ball didn't even leave the infield in that first game against Tampa Bay.
This is Corey Dickerson. He's the DH this afternoon. Did not play in the game yesterday. Makes one upstairs and looked like it caught the top of the strike zone, but Stroman didn't get the call. 2 outs, bottom of the first. Logan Forsythe with a single. He's still at first. Forsythe is so hot he has reached base in 13 of his last 18 plate appearances.
He's their best player right now, and he is their hottest hitter. If you're going to put your scouting report together for today's game, do not let this guy beat you. He had a big at bat in yesterday's ball game.
Hit the home run in the 7th inning off of Jay Happ. All 4 of his home runs have come in the 7th inning or later this season.
Be careful now with Dickerson at the plate. You got to figure he's got the green light. 3-0.
Ball 4. 4-pitch walk after the strikeout of Longoria.
Right fielder number 20, Steven Souza.
Steven Souza Jr., the right fielder, will step in against Marcus Stroman. We mentioned Stroman's pitching on his birthday. Well, Steven Souza Jr. on his birthday on the 24th of April hit 2 home runs against the Yankees. So his birthday was a very successful one.
Marcus is trying to make it a special day himself. I asked him yesterday if he'd ever pitched on his birthday, and he said in the minor leagues. I remember I did it a couple times in the minor leagues. I said, "Did you do anything special on that day?" He says, "I can't remember anything."
A little broken bat looper towards second. Goins takes it on the hop and throws to first to end the inning. The Rays get 2 aboard, but they're stranded after 1 inning. It's scoreless here in Tampa Bay.
You can catch a very special Raptors Central Playoff Edition with Tim and Sid live from Jurassic Park tonight at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Sportsnet and Sportsnet Now. Immediately following that, watch Kyle Lowry and the Raptors go against Paul George and the Pacers. It is game number 7. And last time at that Jurassic Park, guys, Drake had an impromptu concert, so who knows what could happen there.
No telling. It's a real big weekend for Blue Jays sports fans and Toronto sports fans in general. With Raptors playing game 7. The Leafs, of course, got the first overall pick in the NHL draft lottery. First time they've done that since 1985. And when Encarnacion takes one up and away, it's a ball on the strike. When they had the #1 pick in '85, they got a pretty good play. Wendell Clark, long-time career with the Leafs.
Is there a guy like that this year that they can do?
I'm not that sure. We'll check it with Scotty Carson.
Yeah,
He'll know a little bit
knows
more
all
about
of that kind of stuff.
But there's certainly, when you got a chance to pick, Colin McDavid, of course. Connor McDavid was the #1 pick and a very good player. There's a lot of good young talent out there. You get #1 pick, you should hit a home run with it.
We're seeing that in baseball a lot, aren't we? You know, guys who can change organizations. Steven Strasburg, Bryce Harper back-to-back for the Washington National, and they're in first place. Correa in Houston was a #1 overall pick.
Yeah, you get a chance to pick the best player in the country, you should come up with a good player. Full count to Encarnacion. Strike 3 call. Bautista was called on that pitch. Now Encarnacion, and he's shaking his head at Tom Hallion, the home plate umpire.
I'll tell you what, if Jake Odorizzi stays right there, down and away to some of these right-handed batters, he's not going to have any problems, or the Blue Jays are going to have to make the adjustment. Fastball right on the outside corner. Little two-seamer comes back just a little bit, and Conger does a good job of framing it up.
Seemed to be right on the corner. 1 out. Troy Tulowitzki. He's going right back to that outside corner. Why not stay there?
And if he does, got to make the adjustment. You got to be able to hit a couple of balls to right field, and then believe me, Odorizzi will change.
Stays away. Tulowitzki batting 169. It's been a little bit of a struggle for him so far, but he has 4 home runs. He drove in 10 in the opening month of the season. This is what I like about pitchers. Once you see that you're getting particular strike in a certain area of home plate, stay there until the hitters make you change.
Exactly. And he feels good on the mound. You can see Odorizzi, he's hitting his spots. He hasn't missed here early in the ball game. Everything has been down and away to this right-handed hitting team. They're going to go right back out there.
Everything on that outside corner. That one was elevated a bit more. Hank Congress starting behind the plate. Kurt Casale started the first 2 games, and Casale's been doing the bulk of the catching lately. Conger was a former first-round pick of the Angels. Pitch off the plate outside. It's 2-2.
Yeah, just set up just a little bit further off the plate. See if that batter's going to chase. He might go inside one of these times, don't you think?
Another pitch away. 2 hopper for Miller. 2 up, 2 down here in the second. Kevin Pillar hit the home run yesterday, his first of the season.
This has got to feel good. It's a fastball out over the middle of the plate, and he was telling me earlier this week that sometimes he feels good, other times he doesn't feel good. Things are coming around, they're not coming around. That kind of hit right there can get you going. You feel good about yourself when you get a pitch to hit and you drive it out of the ballpark. It's no coincidence his next time up he came up and hit a double.
Odorizzi ahead 0-1. Pillar drives this ball deep down the right side. This ball is slicing and going to go foul out of play. Pillar's home run in the 7th inning of yesterday's game snapped a streak of 120 at bats without a home run, and he hadn't hit a home run since last September 25th right here at Tropicana Field. You mentioned the fact that he had committed his last error here at Tropicana Field. His last home run came here as well. Good numbers over his last dozen games.
He was hitting 188 on April the 16th, 2 weeks ago. And he has raised that 84 points by spraying the ball around the infield. The double that he hit last night came to right field. Hitting a lot of balls back through the middle also.
Tom Allen fighting the urge to call that strike 3. Staying away in that good spot down and away. Sometimes pitchers just get locked in, and it looked like Pillar might have caught a break.
He's locked in right now. He is putting that ball where he wants to. Wow. Tough takes.
He's loading up that outside corner. When you think about it, what's a hitter going to do with that pitch?
Foul it off, maybe.
Maybe single it to right at best. Popped up. Center fielder Kiermaier comes over, calls for it. Quick inning for Jake Odorizzi. Through 2 innings, he's faced the minimum, benefited of the double play.
About that And he said absolutely on contact, from the sound and from the feel, he knew that ball was going out. I asked him to explain for people who don't hit baseballs for a living. He said if you golf, when you golf and it's an effortless swing and you feel absolutely nothing, that's the feeling he got as a hitter. He said that at this point, hitting home runs isn't such a big deal for him as long as he's getting on base and getting hits. He said if he'd gone maybe into May or June and not hit one, he'd be worried about it. On the other hand, he said if he's Jose Bautista or Josh Donaldson and you don't hit a home run over the first couple of weeks, you are thinking about it a lot. But guys, you both have been professional hitters, and you can probably explain as well what that sound and feel is like when you really get that sweet spot in the bat.
Barry, I'll let Pat answer that because I never heard it myself.
Stop it. That's not true. You don't have a feeling. You hit the ball and you overpower the ball. It's like you don't even feel it. The trajectory and the ball coming off the bat, you know when you get it good. And Kevin Pillar hit that one.
Ball players use the phrase barreled it up, and when you barrel it up, it has that distinct crack of the bat. Logan Morrison, I don't think he's barreled up too many so far this season.
Might be the happiest guy in the ballpark that it is now May instead of April, because he would just like to forget his start to the season.
Broken bat looper. Donaldson has to scamper back and makes the catch on the edge of the outfield grass. Morrison pops out.
This Marcus Stroman start is brought to you by BioSteel Sports Nutrition, the natural choice for everyday performance. Drink the pink.
Beautiful day in the Tampa Bay area. Lots of great activities outdoors, and today Marcus Stroman is working inside on his birthday. 25 years old today. Marcus made his first opening day start here back on the 3rd of April. That's bounced right to Encarnacion, and Geyer is retired. 2 quick outs here in the second.
I'll tell you what, he's locked in on his birthday. You know, watching him, he had his game face on in the clubhouse yesterday before this start. He's got his game face on today. Look at him. He is ready to do something special, I think, this afternoon.
Marcus's mom and his sister are both here. They've been here all weekend. Yesterday was his sister's birthday, so the family spending time together. Kevin Kiermaier, he goes after the first pitch and pops it into left. Got to really focus on these fly balls in day games here at Tropicana Field. Just 5 pitches for Stroman. Retires the side in order. 2 innings in the books. No score.
May 18th on your calendars. That is the night of the Sportsnet Jays Care broadcast auction presented by TD, and it will take place during Sportsnet's national broadcast of the Blue Jays versus the Rays. 12 unique Blue Jays experiences and packages up for bids. Visit bluejays.com/broadcast auction to see a list of prizes available. All funds will help Jays Care go beyond the ballpark for over 62,000 children and youth across Canada in 2016. Buck?
It's always a great event, Barry. Thank you very much. And Ivanka Osmak is a very good hostess for that broadcast auction. She will join us on the air. Ezequiel Carrera gets the start in right field against Odorizzi.
John Gibbons wanting to keep his hot bat somehow in the lineup. Did not start either of the games down here in Tampa. But what a series he had against the White Sox.
Pulls that one, gloved by Morrison. He'll go to the bag. One down.
It's time to convert your big outdoor tasks into short, effortless work. Make the great outdoors even greater with Honda Power Equipment.
Well, if you can't be at the ballpark and you can see the dome of Tropicana Field off in the distance, you should be out on a boat today, but they'd rather be at the ballpark. Russell Martin batting in the 8th spot. Russell's really going through a tough time right now, and he's fighting it. You could see it all throughout batting practice today. He was really grinding, trying to find something that'll get him going.
He had an at-bat the other day where he singled to right field. And the Blue Jays feel like that's his strength, and maybe that'll start to get him going just a little bit. He falls into problems where he tries to pull the ball or his head pulls off there and his swing gets a little long. Brooke Jacoby is talking about maybe going back through the middle, maybe shooting the ball to right field. That's his strength. Get yourself a couple of hits going the other way.
1-2. Another breaking ball. This one's popped up into center. Kiermaier drifts underneath it. Martin's retired. 2 down. You ever go through a long slump like that?
Absolutely. At the end of one of my seasons, the first week of September, I was hitting 320 something, and I went like 0 for 35, 0 for 38, something ridiculous like that.
But it didn't affect you that much because you had so many at bats. But it was still a long
20 points.
Yeah, 20 points is a lot
in September. That's a lot because it was really bad. It was really, and I was just lost. I couldn't hit anything. It felt like I was 0-2.
That was a foul ball off of Gowen's foot.
Every time I stepped into the batter's box and the ball was small, it's just a really hard time. And you wonder, you start having self-doubts and you start saying, am I ever going to get a hit again?
Is this the end?
It's true. It's true.
I went into Exhibition Stadium in '78, I believe, got out of a cab, and one of my teammates held out a handful of change. It was 46 cents. I said, what's that? He said, that's what you're hitting.
That's your batting average.
I was hitting 46 in June.
Wow. That's hard.
But I was catching really well.
And you know, I don't care if you're a rookie or a 10-year veteran. When you're not hitting, the confidence level is way down. And then one day you wake up, you come to the ballpark, and for some reason everything has changed.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is look up on the scoreboard. Now batting, Buck Martinez, 0-46.
You were playing bingo, huh?
Oh, man, I was playing big-time bingo.
0-46.
0-46. You get on the interstate then, at least you're hitting I-52. Goins tried to check his swing, went around, and through 3 innings, Jake Odorizzi has faced the minimum. 9 batters, still no score.
Friends at Dairy Queen want to wish Marcus Stroman a very happy 25th birthday and happy 29th to his sister, Sabria.
Sabria's birthday was yesterday. Marcus is today, and their mother, Adeline, is here with them as well, so they've been able to spend the weekend together. Marcus Stroman. When you look at the breakdown for Stroman compared to last year, many things very similar. The biggest difference is that ERA.
He had 4 starts in 2015. The whip and the ERA sensational. In 2016, just about the same many starts in the whip, but the ERA is elevated simply because he has left games with runners on base, 7 of them, over his first 5 starts, and they've come around to score.
If you take those 7 earned runs off his line, his ERA would be 2.57. Hank Conger drills this one into right. That's going to get down in front of Carrera. Now Hank Conger comes up with a base hit in his first at bat in this series. In fact, this is his first start. Came in the game as a pinch hitter.
He can swing the bat a little bit more than Kurt Casale. Casale a little bit better catcher than Conger. Conger a little bit better hitter than Casale. And he can turn on a fastball. That's what he got right there from Stroman. Singles into right field to lead off the third.
Here is Babe Ruth. Swinging like Babe Ruth right now. Logan Forsythe. He got another hit in his first at bat. We mentioned he's reached base in 13 of his last 18 plate appearances. He had a 3-hit game yesterday and a walk.
Then the way he is swinging the bat, he can handle the bat, hit the ball to right field. Look at what he can shoot for if he wants to on the right side of the Blue Jays infield. There's nobody standing over there. When you're going as well as Forsythe is, you can handle that bat and take a shot over there.
And you can see the Blue Jays are working him inside to negate that gaping hole on the right side of the infield. Forsythe at the start of play today, 3rd in the American League in batting average. Nick Castellanos of the Tigers, Manny Machado, and then Forsythe. Another good pitch inside. Forsythe with 8 doubles to go along with his 4 home runs. He's had a big series against the Blue Jays. That was an interesting pitch. That inside breaking ball. He threw it inside. That's the front door breaking ball. It's very effective for Stroman.
Boy, I love that sequence that we just saw for Marcus Stroman. Fastball, fastball inside, and then you throw the breaking ball on the inner half. As a hitter, you're thinking, oh, here comes another fastball, but then he crosses him up, throws that slider, he gives up on it, and he retires a very hot hitter.
Brad Miller. He drilled one to the deepest part of this ballpark in center field, and Kevin Pillar had to get on his horse to run it down. Two and 0. Miller's starting to swing the bat a little bit better of late. There's a good fastball strike. Over his last 6 games, he's raised his batting average 79 points.
And he's a free swinger. He fits right in with the Tampa Bay Rays offensive philosophy is swing early. First strike you see.
The Rays switched their philosophy mid-season last year when they weren't having any success with the bats, and Derek Shelton and Kevin Cash said, you know what, we got to change things up. No reason to fall behind if you're going to end up hitting 230 as a team, and became more aggressive.
The book got out there that they take a lot of pitches, so pitchers started getting free strikes early in the count. Strike 1, strike 2, and finally they got together with their heads and say, hey, let's go up there and start swinging. And it worked for them. They averaged about 2 runs more a game from August on last year.
The runner was off on the pitch, and it's fouled off at the plate. It hasn't really translated much this year. They're hitting 225 as a team coming into this game. I think the big question, and as the Rays asking themselves, did we sacrifice defense and didn't get much in return offensively? There goes Conger again, another foul at the plate. They gave up Rene Rivera, very good defensive catcher, but not much with the bat, and James Loney, a terrific first baseman.
And they let Asdrubal Cabrera go as a free agent. There are the numbers right there. The pitching has been great. They're first, second, and third in whip opponent's batting average and earned run average. But the hitting side of it, those last three, way down. This has always been a pitching and defense type of team. And they've just scored enough runs, and they would manufacture runs, and they'd figure out ways to score runs without the benefit of a home run. This year, though, hasn't happened for them so far.
They have scored 76 runs through their first 23 games. Three-two pitch once again. That's ball 4. 2 aboard with 1 out here in the third.
Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Proud partners of the Toronto Blue Jays. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
The Don Cesar Hotel, not far from this ballpark in St. Petersburg Beach. 1 out, 2 aboard. The dangerous Evan Longoria. He struck out on a breaking ball his first time up, and Stroman throws him another one. We mentioned the 76 runs scored. That's not last in the American League. The Yankees are last in the American League.
Now that's hard to believe. They got shut out again yesterday.
Yankees have scored 74 runs. Longoria late on that fastball.
The Bronx Bombers aren't bombing.
They bombed. To give you an idea how poor the Yankees have played offensively, they are already 52 runs behind the Boston Red Sox. That's a ton.
In run differential. Wow.
1-2. Straightened him up with a heater.
Yeah, he's diving out over that plate, isn't he, to protect that outside?
Guarding against that breaking ball.
That was a good pitch, a purpose pitch, up and in.
That's that pitch that has been so good for the Rays, and Stroman didn't get the call. Russell Martin's having a casual conversation with Tom Halliott. Gee, Mr. Umpire, that was a strike against us.
Something that nice, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Longoria strikes out for a second time.
So he comes back and throws a better one. According to Pitch Tracker, that first pitch was just off the plate. But this time, Marcus Stroman is going to dot the I right on the outside corner, and Longoria can't catch up to it. Looked like that sinker. And Evans swings right through it. That's a big out. All over the strike zone. That number 4, see that one up and in to the righty? That served a purpose. So he could open up that outside corner to get the strikeout.
Corey Dickerson, the cleanup hitter, walked his first time up. Breaking ball for a strike. Stroman has so many weapons, and he can throw any of his pitches for a strike anytime in the count, and that's what we heard all throughout that White Sox series. Get that free strike early in the at bat by flipping that breaking ball in there.
If you're able to flip it in there and throw it for a strike, the hitters normally are not sitting on breaking ball.
And now Dickerson is really in a hole quickly. Oh, and 2 outs, 2 aboard. Stroman stranded a pair of base runners in the first. They got him. Dickerson strikes out. Stroman strikes out the side. He has 4 strikeouts through 3 innings. Still looking for the first run of the ball game. Corey Dickerson hits that breaking ball down and away. It'll be Saunders coming up when we come back.
With Sportsnet, we're providing fans the opportunity to win a trip to the Stanley Cup Finals, giving away a pair of tickets including flights and accommodation. All you have to do to win is watch the Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll be giving you chances to win. The more you watch, the more chances you have. Capture the cup with Sportsnet. Buck?
Great promotion, and you have a chance to capture the cup with Sportsnet, so make sure you check out the playoffs. Michael Saunders takes first pitch strike from Jake Odorizzi. We got another pitcher's duel. How many times have we said that in this ballpark in the past?
Too many. Too many good pitchers always seem to line up. The Rays and the Blue Jays. I am convinced also, after watching this game for as long as I have, good pitching will stop good hitting every single time.
It doesn't fail. No matter how hot hitters are, if pitchers make pitches and change speeds, they can shut down any offense. We see it all the time in the postseason. 0-2 pitch. Going to elevate it. Saunders drives it deep to left field. Brandon Guyer has it carrying over near that short fence. That ball took off a little bit on Guyer. Remember, in day games, it's very difficult for the defenders to track that baseball in this very light skinned roof.
You can't take your eye off of that ball, or when you look back up, it's gone. That's what you're looking at right there. It disappears. Michael Saunders picking on that left side down the left field line. Gets it behind him just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Donaldson swings through that first pitch. Josh grounded into a double play. They're playing him right up the middle. He hit it right to Logan Forsythe, who stepped on the bag.
It's an interesting defense. Hole on the infield, shade him the other way in the outfield and deep.
Really interesting. The center fielder is that much on the right field side of center. There's that cutter inside. That's the same pitch Stroman used to strike out Forsythe. An inside cutter.
With those right-handers leaning out over the plate, you put fastball in mind.
It's really interesting how that pitch has come into vogue. I know when you were playing that you'd never see a pitcher intentionally throw a breaking ball on the inner half of a plate.
You're throwing it right into their swing plane. But now they're such good hitters, and they try to cover all parts of the strike zone.
There's a mistake, and this one is gone. Boy, he left that one out over the plate, and that's just the third home run that Jake Odorizzi has allowed, and Josh Donaldson has just taken the lead in home runs in the American League.
You know, here's what I don't understand. Sometimes you can outsmart yourself if you're a pitcher. He's got the fastball working down and away. He's got that release point working, and the Blue Jays haven't figured him out. Then for some reason Josh Donaldson comes up. He's going to change. He's going to start using his slider. He's going to start using his cutter just a little bit more, and he gets burned.
Bautista fouls back the fastball.
Donaldson all over that pitch. Watch where it is. Maybe one of those inside cutters again. It's out over the plate. He was having success. Fastball down and away.
Tried to get cute. He faced the minimum through the first 3 innings. Got a double play in the first, and Josh Donaldson squares up this one.
You know what they say about those cutters or sliders? They speed your bat up. Just that little extra movement gives your bat a little bit more time to catch it out in front, and that's the results.
By fastball, Bautista strikes out, 2 away here in the 4th.
So what does he do? He goes back to 3 fastballs.
You know what? As a former catcher, that's why I always insisted that catchers call the signs. Things were working perfectly, and all of a sudden they wanted to go to that cutter, and they made a pretty good pitch with it, and then they really missed badly. That pitch missed all the way across the plate to Donaldson. Encarnacion chases that high pitch. The Blue Jays have now hit 7 home runs in this 3-game series. Donaldson's home run was the 12th the Blue Jays have hit in 7 games against the Rays this season.
I'll take him. But 6 of those 7 home runs have been solo home runs. I'll take him with men on base.
Blue Jays have now hit 15 home runs in their last 9 games. It hasn't translated into wins. Edwin Encarnacion is getting pitched as tough as anybody in the Blue Jays lineup right now. When Troy Tulowitzki is really struggling hitting behind him. And it's back-to-back right-handed bats, but they are really pitching Edwin tough.
Everything has been away. Firm away. Pitching away from his power.
A high fly ball to right. Souza is there short of the warning track, and the inning is over. But the Blue Jays break out on top. Jake Odorizzi wishes he had this one pitch back. Trying to go inside. He misses all the way across the plate, and Donaldson doesn't. Home run number 9 for Josh Donaldson. He's the new leader in the American League in home runs.
All Blue Jays, the Blue Jays Baseball Academy will be hosting 14 Honda Super Camps across Canada. Learn techniques from former Blue Jays as Roberto Alomar, Devon White, Lloyd Mosby, Jesse Barfield, and Dwayne Ward. Register now at bluejays.com/camps. And Tabby, I can attest from firsthand knowledge, they are all wonderful coaches, as are you.
Well, thank you, Barry. We had a lot of fun, didn't we, last November?
We did.
What'd you learn, Barry?
Not much. No.
Here's what he didn't learn. He didn't learn how to stay out of the trainer's room. Wow. He was on that trainer's table every day.
Got hit hard for it, too.
You can't make the club in the tub, Barry.
I did learn what kangaroo court is. A lot.
I bet you did.
So did your wallet.
Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. Steven Souza Jr. swings at that inside pitch. He grounded out to second base his first time. There's that breaking ball. He'll start that bigger breaking ball at the hitter and take something off. Stroman has a tremendous feel for pitching. He can read bats, see what the hitter's trying to accomplish, and that's a nasty breaking ball. 5 strikeouts now for Marcus Stroman.
The all-new Honda Civic, now available with turbo. The 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Blue Jays are in St. Petersburg. They have already made 2 trips here to the Gulf Coast of Florida. Blue Jays won't be back till way at the end of the season.
September? They come back here?
And come back in August. When do they lose? Oh, they come back in September. Yep. That ball is headed down the left field line, but it's going to slice out of play.
We were talking his first time up, Logan Morrison, as he heads back to the plate. Lucky and happy that that calendar is flipped to May, because his April, his beginning of his Rays career, has not been very good. No home runs, no RBIs, 2 extra base hits, 8 total bases. 8 total bases.
He had 225 last year for the Seattle Mariners. Had 17 home runs, 54 RBIs, and 457 at-bats. But they brought him in here to boost up the offense, and obviously he hasn't had an impact yet. He popped out to the shortstop. Actually popped out to Josh Donaldson, playing shortstop in the shift.
He's a big, strong guy, and when he gets a hold of it, he can hit it a long way. I mean, look at that physique. That's a classic looking first baseman with that size and that type of power, but so far it just hasn't happened for him.
Morrison began his career with the Florida Marlins. He was a 22nd round pick, came out of Kansas City. In fact, he's worked with former hitting coach Kevin Seitzer in the past, and he might want to put him on speed dial right now. But Morrison spent some time in Miami before going to Seattle in 2014. He had 262 his first year in the American League, just 225 last year, and now he's off to a poor start.
And the thinking was, okay, he's coming from a pitcher's ballpark in Seattle, where it's tough to hit home runs, to a hitter's ballpark in a hitter's league in the American League East.
This is popped up. Donaldson going out to left. Saunders coming in. The left fielder calls for it, and Morrison has popped out twice so far today.
Number 5, the left fielder, Brandon Geyer.
You know, you made an interesting statement. The American League East, a hitter's league, and you're right. There are a lot of great hitters in this league, but I think it just takes a certain type of hitter to perform well in this division, because there's pretty tough pitching in here as well.
I was talking about like the ballparks. Ballparks are small. Yankee Stadium, it's a great place to hit, especially left-handed hitters. And Fenway Park, Rogers Center, Camden Yards for years has been a great hitter's ballpark.
And that's a great point, comparing Seattle, Safeco Field, Oakland,
Anaheim.
Anaheim's a big, tough ballpark. This is Brandon Guyer. He grounded out to the first baseman his first time up. He's got the count in his favor, 2-0. Nothing you can do with that one. Good spot right there.
Keep it there and you won't get hurt. Guyer's an interesting guy. He's right on top of the plate, and watch where he strides. He strides to the plate, and any inside pitch, he doesn't move at all, and will take the ball off of his body just to get down to first base.
He's been hit 6 times. He was hit in this series. Been hit the most in the American League.
So where do you pitch him? If you pitch him in, there's a good chance you're going to hit him.
Breaking ball pulled to short. Tulowitzki throws on the run in time. Marcus Stroman 3 up 3 down. He's retired 5 straight. But go to the 5th. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Samsung broadcast studio.
Miss this. Our own Buck Martinez will be signing copies of his new book, Change Up, on Friday, May the 6th from noon to 1 at J Shop, Center Field, Toronto Eaton Center, level 100. Buck, I have been fortunate enough through my vast connections to get a copy of your book. Now all I need is to find a way to get you to sign it for me.
No problem, Barry. I'd be happy to. All you got to do is come to the Eaton Center on Friday.
Oh.
I'll be in line.
Whip out. I'm going to read it while I'm off. Think I can finish it in a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. A couple of hours, sit down, read it. It reads very easily. It was fun to do. It reminded me a lot of great friends, great relationships I developed over the years in baseball.
You and I were in the car last year in spring training when you got Tony Kubek on the phone. And what a joy that was to talk to him.
Yeah, he was terrific. He was my mentor when I first began broadcasting with the Blue Jays in the mid-'80s. He was doing the games for the Jays, and a terrific guy, great historian, talking about the Yankee years and all the great things about Casey Stengel. Some of those things we talk about in the book. It's good. You know, and my friends were very good and very giving of their time to help out. Let's see when I'm in tomorrow. Steve Busby, the announcer for the Rangers, as the Rangers are in town for a 4-game series. Busby and I began our careers with the Kansas City Royals, and he was a terrific pitcher that suffered a career-ending injury.
Could have been one of the best. If that injury happens 20 years later, he has a fulfilling career.
And he threw 2 no-hitters and won 20 games one season before the injury. Troy Tulowitzki batting to start the 5th. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead thanks to Josh Donaldson's 9th home run of the season. Kevin Kiermaier ranging back. This ball's carrying, and Kiermaier got a little bit surprised how far that ball went. Tulowitzki reached for it. It was an off-balance swing, but he got the barrel on it and took Kiermaier all the way to the wall in center.
That's 2 or 3 times this afternoon that we have seen the outfielders fooled just a little bit as that ball carries a little bit deeper. Make a note of that and maybe take a couple of steps back and play deeper so no balls go over your head.
Kevin Pillar takes a first pitch strike. Pillar flied out to Kiermaier in center. His only time up today. That's off the end of the bat. Morrison will shovel to Odorizzi. 2 quick outs here in the 5th.
This is the best that we have seen Jake Odorizzi. He has had his problems lately against the Blue Jays.
Number 3.
Even last time out, he pitched just 5 innings against the Orioles. And he really was victimized by the shifting of the Rays. Chris Davis had a check swing double down the third base line when they had 1 defender on the third base side of second.
He failed to finish 6 innings in his last 3 starts against the Blue Jays. But today, he's looking pretty sharp.
Odorizzi made his first start against Blue Jays in that season opening series back in the first week of April. Went 5 2/3, allowed just 4 hits, struck out 10. Ezequiel Carrera got the nod in right field today as Jose Bautista's DHing this afternoon. Carrera had that big series at Rogers Center against the Oakland A's, carried it into the Chicago series, and he did a nice job filling in for Michael Saunders, who couldn't play during the Oakland series.
Yeah, he was down for a couple of days. It really started swinging a hot bat, and Gibby said, I got to keep him in the game. There's what he has done over his last 5 games. He's also had a stolen base. He's had a couple of great catches in the outfield.
Hits this one into right field. Souza over to cut it off, and he gets it back in quickly. 2-out base hit for Carrera, just the second Blue Jay hit of the afternoon.
Well, you got to figure you're going to get a fastball. He's going to challenge you. And Zeke stays on top of that one. High fastball just out of the reach of the second baseman Forsythe. A lot of hits back through the middle for Carrera. That was just the second of the afternoon for the Blue Jays.
So Russell Martin will step in. Russell flied out to center back in the 3rd. Russell's been dealing with a neck spasm, knocked him out of a few games, and still not 100%. You can see it with the way he's swinging the bat. There goes Carrera. He got a great jump, and Conger's throw is in time. Hank Conger, that's the first base stealer the Rays have thrown out this season. In fact, for Conger, he had a long drought. That's the first base runner he has caught in 49 attempts. Last time he threw out a base stealer was May 29, 2015, when he threw out J.B. Shuck.
0 for 11 coming into this one. Let's take a look at it as they're going to see if Carrera got his hand in there. It was an aggressive slide into second base. The Rays are walking off the field like they think he is out. Gibby checking to make sure. I don't think you could tell from that shot that we just showed you where the tag was.
They wave it off, and Carrera is out, caught stealing. Just the second time for Conger in the last 55 attempts.
Blue Jays experiences like alumni meet and greet, seat upgrades, offers, and more with Game Plus. It's all part of the MLB.com ballpark app. Learn more at BlueJays.com/Game Plus. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. Got quite a game going on here. Joe Odorizzi and Marcus Stroman, both pitchers, have allowed just 2 hits so far in this ball game. The only run coming off the bat of Josh Donaldson, his 9th home run of the season, his 21st RBI. And Marcus Stroman has been staked to a 1-0 lead. There's your run. Now go with it.
Yeah. How many times have you said that Sunday afternoon, right? To a pitcher after a long game the night before.
In the air. Goins, the second baseman, takes charge, calls for it, and Kiermaier is retired.
Number 24, the catcher.
Marcus Stroman, basically in his first full season as a starter, and you go back to last year, look at his last 5 road starts. Pretty impressive numbers.
True measurement, I think, of a stopper, if you will, or a guy who can pitch at the top of your rotation is, do you win on the road? Because it's tougher to win on the road, and he's been perfect, 5-0. It hasn't hurt that he's got 9 runs a game in those 5 road contests, but he can pitch anywhere. The first time we saw him come out at Yankee Stadium like he'd been pitching 5, 6, 7 years in the big leagues, wasn't intimidated, just came out throwing bullets.
Hank Conger, he singled to right field his first time up. Stroman has been counting the days to interleague play, and he's figured out that he's going to pitch in San Francisco against the Giants. He's really looking forward to that. DeMarlo Hale, the bench coach, has really been giving Stroman the business about, oh yeah, you say you can hit, you say you can hit. Stroman says, I can hit.
I think he can hit.
Yeah, he looks like it.
I've seen him with a bat in his hand. I haven't seen him swing it yet.
In his first year, he was used as a pinch runner. Of course, Marcus played infield in high school and started playing second base at Duke. Played 44 games his freshman year at Duke. Ground ball. There's the shift. That's Tulowitzki. Straight away second base. So that's 2 outs here in the 5th.
Number 11, Logan Forsythe.
Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Proud partners of the Toronto Blue Jays. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Blue Jays will return home after this game to open up a 4-game series against the Texas Rangers, the team they beat in the ALDS last year. Should be some excitement as these 2 teams hook up. Of course, the dramatic Game 5 of that series that featured the Jose Bautista home run and subsequent bat flip.
They were talking about that on the pregame show, about that inning. It made me start thinking, what's the greatest inning you ever witnessed in baseball? Top and bottom, like the greatest inning. And all the baseball that I've seen, that's one of the best innings. Might be the best inning I've ever witnessed at the ballpark.
In the context of Game 5, the decisive Game 5 of the series, the fact that the Rangers took the lead
On a crazy play.
on a throw back to the pitcher's mound. And then the Rangers committed 3 errors.
The 3 errors. And then late in the game of Game 5 and the crowd getting into it. Hard to top that.
Yeah, you know what, you try to think of innings and it's just hard. You just can't think of all those great innings over the years that could match anything like that.
One that I saw, and we'll talk about that next inning.
When Forsythe drives Carrera onto the warning track in right, but Marcus Stroman has settled in nicely. He's retired 8 straight. Time now for the schedule ahead, brought to you by WestJet. The Blue Jays will wrap up the first day of May here in St. Petersburg and then head home for a 4-game series against the Rangers. The Dodgers are in town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we got some interesting pitching matchups. Then the Blue Jays go out west, play the Giants at Pac-Bell Stadium, have an off day in Texas before they pick up play once again with the Rangers on Friday the 13th.
There are Stroman then would miss the Texas series and pitch against the Dodgers then on Friday, which would be a great matchup. And then if the schedule stays like that, then the Giants have no off days. The last day in San Francisco, it's Marcus Stroman and Madison Bumgarner. Some great pitching matchups. Aaron Sanchez is going to be pitching against Texas. That should be a lot of fun.
That'll be Colby Lewis on Wednesday night. Monday night's matchup, A.J. Griffin against R.A. Dickey. On Tuesday, Martin Perez against Marco Estrada. You mentioned Friday night, Marcus Stroman. Kenta Maeda has just been announced as the starter in that Friday night matchup against the Blue Jays. That's a pretty terrific matchup. Maeda in his first season in the major leagues after a successful career in Japan.
Dodgers are coming here tomorrow, and they gibbled up their rotation. They're going to throw their 2 lefties in this 2-game series against Tampa before they come to Toronto and eliminate those left-handers.
Russell Martin hits it high in the air to right, but that's going to be an easy play for Steven Souza Jr. The final day of the Dodgers series, Sunday, before the Blue Jays go out to San Francisco. Clayton Kershaw will be matched up against Marco Estrada. It'll be an opportunity to see Clayton Kershaw at Rogers Center.
Wow, that'll be fun. What a Mother's Day present that'll be for somebody to come out to the ballpark and watch that.
So in the 2 games, you get to see Kenta Maeda, a fine young Japanese pitcher, and the Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw. Come on, Dad. Pony up. Spend some money. Bring Mom out for that great matchup on Sunday. Ryan Goins struck out his first time up.
So we were talking about innings, certain innings, and right at the end of the last day, I was talking about one. It had a Texas flavor to it and a Blue Jay flavor. It was Nolan Ryan's last no-hitter. That last inning with Ryan throwing BBs, it was something just to sit there. And I sat on the bench at the end of the game just to watch all the hoopla after.
Yeah. You knew you were seeing a historic moment.
That's right.
It was his 7th no-hitter, and I think he struck out Robbie Alomar to end the game.
Yep. And he was throwing as hard in that last inning or harder than he was at the beginning of the game.
And you could hear him grunt all the way into the dugout because he could get it up there. Goins chases that high fastball. Strikes out for a second time. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Camden.
Left fielder, number 21, Michael Saunders.
Jamie, it's no wonder he hit it. It was only 98. He has been well over 100 multiple times this season. Last count, I think I counted 44 pitches over 100 miles an hour from Noah Syndergaard, but Hunter Pence got to him.
Just reading a little something about that game as Bruce Bochy started the runner just before that to stay out of the double play. Buster Posey was at first base. They started the runner, staying out of the double play, and gave Hunter Pence a chance to hit. Pretty smart.
Michael Saunders has walked and flied out. Well, the Blue Jays have really been hard pressed to get any hits. They had 3 hits in the game yesterday. They scored 6 runs on Friday, had 7 hits, but hit 4 home runs. Blue Jays a year ago went 3-6 here at Tropicana Field. So far they have split the 6 games they have played to date, 3-3.
Well, there's no question this has been a tough place to play. They got great pitching, very deep bullpen, play the game the right way, and it's just been a hard place, not just the Blue Jays, I think for everybody to come in here and try to win series. It's not like these Tampa Bay Rays have been chopped liver over the years. They've had some really good teams here.
When you go back to Joe Maddon's second season here, and they started to improve, and they have been competitive ever since. 2-2, 2 outs. Another fly ball to left. This one not so deep. Brendan Guyer keeps his eye on it, makes the catch. Blue Jays go down in order in their half of the 6th. Dick Odorizzi is through 6 for the first time in 3 starts. The Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead behind Marcus Stroman.
Game 5 of the ALDS last year, and on Thursday, May 5th, you can relive that as it is Throwback Thursday T-shirt night presented by Honda. The first 15,000 fans at the Rogers Center to watch the Blue Jays and Rangers will receive one of these cool T-shirts reliving that great moment. Go to BlueJays.com for tickets. Buck?
Be a great opportunity to pick up a good souvenir and depiction of that celebration after that great win in Game 5. Marcus Stroman pitching with a 1-0 lead. Up to Brad Miller to start the inning. Marcus has retired 8 straight since walking Miller with 1 out in the 3rd. No, that went off his foot. The Blue Jays trying to win a series, and this has always been a tough spot for them to win a series. Disappointing walk-off loss here last night. Second time the Blue Jays have been walked off this season. They had a pass ball walk-off loss in Baltimore in extra innings.
That's 4 games the Blue Jays have lost on the last play of a game. They lost one here earlier, that first time we were here, on a slide at second base by Bautista. Miller goes down.
6 strikeouts now, 1 out. Let's check in again with Jamie Campbell.
Third baseman, number 3, Evan Longoria.
Well, and the bad news for the Orioles, Chris Sale is pitching that game against them, and he has given up 4 hits through 3 innings, has a walk and a strikeout. Brett Laurie is home run number 4 on the season. He's now driven in 10.
as good as Chris Sale has been,
Yeah.
looked into the numbers, Jordan Zimmerman from Detroit has been better.
Zimmerman 5-0 in his first 5 games for the Tigers. That's a pretty impressive start.
His earned run average 0.55. Better than Chris Sale's 1.66. 0.55.
Evan Longoria has struck out twice against Marcus Stroman. Marcus now has 6 strikeouts. There's a deep drive to left. Saunders looking up. This game is tied. That's the second career home run for Longoria against Stroman, and that makes it a 1-1 game.
Longoria came into this game 5 for 9 in his career with a home run, a walk, and a strikeout versus Marcus Stroman. That time, little backup breaking ball, just like the Josh Donaldson home run, where we tell you how it speeds up the bat. This is a breaking ball. It hangs, it speeds up the bat. He catches it out in front, and Longoria ties up the game with one swing of the bat. His 5th home run of the season.
Longoria hit 4 home runs in April of this season. A year ago, April 2015, he had just 1. Corey Dickerson.
There's a slider on the top. Just spins over the middle of the plate. You see that red dot on that ball as it was making its way towards home plate. That's what the hitters are looking for. And recognizing slider.
Dickerson in a little bit of a funk of late. Dickerson hit his first home run of the season off of Marcus Stroman, leading off the 9th inning. And a deep drive to right field.
He put on a show. That ball is fair. Put on a show the other day in batting practice, but not this time.
A bounce ball to Encarnacion. 2 outs.
Right fielder, number 20.
The all-new Honda Civic, now available with Turbo, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Tropicana Field. Blue Jays won't be back here until the first week of September. Already played. This is their 7th game against the Rays here in St. Pete this season. Ground ball. 2 hops to Tulowitzki. That last one hopped up on him. The inning is over, but Evan Longoria with a long home run has tied it. Josh Donaldson will start things off. He's homered already. And Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion, 2, 3, 4 in the Blue Jays lineup in this tie game.
it retaliation, vengeance, redemption. WWE superstars call it payback. Don't miss Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Kevin Owens May 1st on the WWE Network. Visit WWE.com/Canada for more details. And now back to our own tag team. Here's Buck and Pat.
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. 1-1 ball game as we move to the 7th. Josh Donaldson is responsible for the Blue Jays run. Evan Longoria, he homered for the Rays. Home run number 9 for Josh. Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story, the Rockies, both have 10. Donaldson now the leader in the American League with 9. That's a fair ball. Longoria looked back at the umpire before he threw it. He took a quick look at Joe West. Fair or foul? He saw the left arm indicating fair, and he throws out Donaldson.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Watch this one more time. Catches. He looks to see what Joe West says, and then fires over his shoulder to retire Donaldson. I'm telling you, he's hit a home run. Donaldson's had a home run. Some of the best third basemen in all of baseball reside in the American League East, and they're on display this afternoon.
Manny Machado, of course, with the Orioles. Longoria and Donaldson here. Of course, that young third baseman in Boston has made a name for himself too, Travis Shaw. 1 out. Bautista has struck out once, looking, once swinging.
I guess if you're not sure if it's fair or foul, check with the umpire. Normally you just go ahead and fire it over there and then worry about what the umpire says.
Longoria has a very good internal clock,
doesn't he?
There's no urgency in anything he does, and he just looked over his right shoulder. So what do you think, Joe? Should I throw it to first?
Yeah, he is so smooth down there at third base. Comes out here every day and works hard. He never takes a day off.
He'll take ground balls on his knees on the edge of the grass and uses a smaller glove when he starts his practice. Bautista fouls it back. It's now a full count. Good players are a product of hard work. There's Ryan Webb, the right-hander, loosening up. It's surprising they have him up now. Odorizzi has thrown 93 pitches. But you would think, as a manager, you get to a point where Odorizzi has 4 no decisions. He's pitching great. Has allowed just 1 run on 2 hits. That you'd let him go a little bit longer. So this is your game, man.
Well, he's had short outings in his last 2. He pitched 4 innings 2 starts ago, just 5 innings in his last start. Yeah, this is your game. Go for it.
He hasn't thrown over 100 pitches in his last 3 starts coming into this game. 3-2, 1 out. Bautista takes another walk. So Bautista's aboard for the first time this afternoon, and that'll bring Encarnacion to the plate.
First baseman, number 10.
Yeah, every once in a while, you just got to tell the starting pitcher, hey, this is your game. You have had 4 no decisions. You're pitching great, making quality pitches, and you deserve to have a resolution to this start.
Win or lose, right? I'm going to go with my guy. The way he's thrown, it's been very effortless, and he hasn't had a whole lot of strenuous innings this afternoon.
Edwin is 0 for 9 on this road trip, and he's not gotten an awful lot to hit. Kevin Cash, he's going to check with the video room, and they wave it off quickly. That's what the delay was, as Odorizzi stepped off the mound. But it's interesting if the Blue Jays are going to shake this lineup up a little. They have really been stagnant with the bats.
Well, just watching how they've been attacking Edwin Encarnacion, everything has been away. They've been pitching away from his power. And right now, the guy behind him, that might be the reason why. Troy Tulowitzki has not been swinging a very hot bat, and they haven't been really giving Edwin a lot to hit. Stayed away. If they end up walking him, you know, no big deal. There's another one, down and away.
And there hasn't been any need to really be aggressive to Encarnacion, and because of that, Edwin has but 3 home runs. Came into this game batting .250.
Well, if he's going to have to get one, he's either going to have to hit a mistake or he's going to have to go to right field, because everything has been away, just trying to pitch away from his power stroke.
Well, they throw that one away. Bautista's going to go to second. The Rays got a fortunate kick, as that ball didn't go very far once it hit the wall. And instead of caroming down the line farther, it stayed close, and Bautista could only go to second.
I don't understand this. This is the 3rd time that they have thrown over there with Jose Bautista at first base. I'd be worried about the guy at the plate and not at Bautista at first. You can see he's not off the base, but a step and a half. There's the carom that you were just talking about, just 1 base for Bautista. But for some reason, they kept throwing over there like he was going to try and steal. You're not going to do that with Encarnacion at the plate.
No, not at all. And now they have a base open at first. So Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, comes out and says, okay, here's the situation. It's a 1-1 game. You got 1 out. Bautista's at second. You got a base open. You don't have to be aggressive to Encarnacion here. So the error by Odorizzi has put Bautista in scoring position. Off the plate. Odorizzi certainly taking his time now, and it's really kind of an unusual approach, giving the score. You'd think he'd want to be anxious to make pitches.
Would you be anxious to pitch to these big guys?
No, but I would pitch quicker and get him on base and just say, okay, now I'm going to make my pitches. But his body language isn't very good. Jim Hickey has Ryan Webb ready down in their bullpen. 99 pitches now. This will be 100. Fly ball to right. Souza has room. Bautista's tagging at second. He'll stay right there. Another borderline pitch that Encarnacion flies out on.
One more time. Away. And Edwin just gets underneath that one. It's a long fly ball. Look at the frustration from Encarnacion firing that bat down into the dirt.
Yeah, he is chasing pitches that are on the border because he hasn't got much hit. RBI situation. You can't blame him for that. I mean, he's one of the best in baseball at picking up runs. So Troy Tulowitzki will bat with 2 outs. We're in the 7th. It's a 1-1 game. There have been only 5 hits in the game. Both runs coming on solo home runs. Donaldson and Longoria. Okay, go to Rizzi. 0-1 on the season. This is his 6th start. Tulowitzki got a pitch up in the zone.
Yeah, he missed his spot right there, and Tulo fouled it back. 2 outs, runners in scoring position this season. Tulowitzki's 2 for 8. They could use a big one right here.
Troy could use a big hit. He's been battling it. He has 10 RBIs for the season. This is when it's so tough for a hitter that's struggling at the plate. You have an RBI situation, and you know you want to hit strikes, but you really want to drive that run in. And the pitcher's staying out of the middle of the plate.
And you got to make him come to you. First of all, I think he's smart enough to know that first base is open. This guy's going to nibble on the outside part of the plate. Just have the discipline to wait till he brings one in the middle, and he has twice now.
Blar's on deck. We mentioned the Blue Jays have just 2 hits. A home run by Donaldson and a single by Carrera. That's it. Foul back over the screen and into the second deck. Rizzi taking a long time to get to the pitch he wants. Remember that splitter. Strikes out Tulowitzki. His 6th strikeout of the afternoon. Closes out the Blue Jays in the 7th. They leave a runner in scoring position in this 1-1 game.
And it's right back at it at Rogers Center tomorrow as the Texas Rangers pay a visit for a 4-game series, followed by a rare opportunity to see the Los Angeles Dodgers in town. Later in the month, we will see lots more of the American League East opponents as the Rays, Red Sox, and Yankees all come to town. For Blue Jays tickets, go to bluejays.com. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. A lot of Blue Jay fans in attendance. It's a nice crowd here this afternoon at Tropicana Field.
A lot of the fans got to go on the field before the ball game, walk out onto the field, and then walk back out into center field. Marcus Stroman gets the ball, and he's been sensational. He's thrown 6 innings. He's given up 3 hits. You could tell that he was going to be very sharp early on. His breaking ball was very good. He started throwing that cutter down and in. He started moving the ball around the strike zone. He's got 6 strikeouts. The only mistake that Marcus has made this afternoon was that hanging breaking ball to Evan Longoria to tie it up. Other than that, he's been great. 3 hits and just 1 run through 6 innings. Much like we thought it was going to be. In our opening, we said this is a good matchup for Marcus. If he's around the plate and his ball's down and his ball's sinking, he's going to have success against this free swinging team.
Stroman pitching into the 7th. His first start opening day on April 3rd. Marcus pitched into the 9th, but he couldn't get out of the 9th as he gave up a long home run to Corey Dickerson. Eventually 2 runs were scored by Tampa Bay, but Marcus picked up the win.
He was really good in those middle innings that kept the pitch count down and got him into the 9th inning.
So it'll be Logan Morrison, Brandon Guyer, and Kevin Kiermaier for Tampa Bay. 1-1 ball game. Right back to Stroman. What an athlete. Boy, he was able to glove that and keep it off his body. Quick reflexes, and 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
He had a similar ball in his last outing that went off of his elbow. It knocked him out of the ball game. It looked like it was going to be a double play ball off the bat of Keanu Navarro. This time, right back at him. And how about the quick reflexes with that glove? That thing came back there quick. Snags it, gathers himself, comes down off that mound, and throws it on flat ground.
Marcus is a remarkable athlete, and that time he took a hot shot and turned it into an easy out. Brandon Guyer has grounded out twice so far in this game. You remember when Marcus Stroman was drafted out of Duke, he was really disappointed that he was drafted by the Blue Jays. He didn't really know an awful lot about the Blue Jays organization. Of course, he grew up in New York, so he had dreams of maybe pitching for one of the New York teams. But now he has become such a big part of Toronto. And he has bought into the town, into the team. He has really become a fan of the Leafs and the Raptors, and of course he's a big fan of Drake.
Right.
Well, what a great pitch. That's that inside cutter once again. Guyer couldn't pull the trigger, and there's your explanation about how you pitch to Brandon Guyer. Stands right on top of the plate.
Stands on top of the plate and steps towards the plate, almost out of the batter's box, so he frees him. Look where that front foot is. It's on the chalk. And then he freezes him with that cut fastball. Comes back out over the plate. Strikeout number 7. What a great sequence.
Marcus still has a lot of life on his pitches, and that's what I look for from a pitcher, whether or not he's tiring. It's the finish of the pitches, and you can see even that fastball that missed has great late life.
Contrast that to what we saw just last inning from Jake Odorizzi. Odorizzi slowed everything down after Bautista got on base. His pitches didn't have the same kind of life.
Yeah, and you can really see the body language that Stroman has right now. It's like, this is my game. I'm going to finish this game, as you see Erasmo Ramirez loosening up for Tampa Bay. So much about pitching is feel. Well, you know when to add, when to subtract, when to take a little off your pitches, and Stroman, for a youngster, really has a great knack of doing that. A little bit off the breaking ball. Another strikeout. He strikes out a pair here in the 7th. That's 8 in the ball game, and Marcus Stroman 7 complete. It's a 1-1 game and a pitcher's duel.
WestJet Blue Jays Flyaway Contest is now on. Enter for your chance to cheer on the Blue Jays in Boston with WestJet. Go to bluejays.com/WestJet to fly away to enter for a trip to go to Fenway, where there will be night baseball today, Buck.
Yankees and the Red Sox playing Sunday night baseball, and a new pitcher into the ball game is Erasmo Ramirez, making his 11th appearance.
Talked about Jordan Zimmerman having 5 wins and Chris Sale and Rick Porcello. Well, Erasmo Ramirez is right behind him, pitching out of the bullpen. He's already 4-1. We saw him yesterday in a curious move. He got 5 straight outs and then was taken out of the ball game after he gave up a double to the guy standing at the plate.
Kevin Pillar. Kevin is 0 for 2. When they're working over that down and away strike zone, aren't they?
Yeah, it's one thing to say you can do it. It's another thing to go out there and throw it down there. And we have seen both pitchers, or all the pitchers so far, be able to put it down there and register outs.
Two and 1 now. Pillar looking to get something going for the Blue Jays here in the 8th. Takes a strike. Tom Hallion says, Kevin, that's been a strike all afternoon, and he has called that down and away strike consistently. He crossed him up that time. Ran that ball inside. Pillar hit that double off of Ramirez down the right field line. And then the Rays went to the bullpen, brought in Xavier Cedeno, and he was able to get Goins and the pinch hitter Matt Dominguez to end the top half of the night. Pillar, aware of that outside pitch, spoils a pretty good one.
Erasmo Ramirez seems like he's been around forever, doesn't he? Got a couple of years in the big. He's only 25 years old.
Yeah, he's 25 years old, but he came up with the Mariners early in his career and pitched well for them.
He is a valuable type of pitcher if you want to put him on your pitching staff. He can pitch out of the pen. They're going to move him into the starting rotation next time through. They build him up in spring training. He can give you multiple innings, and he throws a lot of strikes. This guy, after a slow start last year, won 11 games for him.
This is popped up. First baseman Morrison comes in, makes the catch. Erasmo Ramirez is from Rivas, Nicaragua. As you mentioned, he will turn 26 tomorrow, May 2nd. But he got to Seattle in 2012, pitched in 16 games, made 8 starts. But his breakthrough season came last year, 27 starts for Tampa Bay. Ezequiel Carrera, single to right. He was thrown out to end the 5th inning, caught stealing by Hank Conger. It was their first caught stealing for Tampa Bay as a team this season.
How about that? Conger was 0 for 11, and Casale, who caught yesterday, was 0 for 4.
Every once in a while, you'd think a runner would stumble on his way to second. 1-2. Deep drive down the right side, but that's going to be foul into the bullpen area.
Sounded like he might have cracked his bat.
Yeah, he's going to get a new piece of lumber. Two balls and 2 strikes. Blue Jays starters always hanging out together. R.A. Dickey will open up the series tomorrow against the Rangers.
about that little massage tool right there? Jay Happ, after throwing yesterday, has got that. I might need that after today's game.
That's a pretty good little tool. Over the shoulder massage. Fastball. Guerrero strikes out. 2 outs here in the 8th.
He's been hitting that pitch right there. They kept challenging him with fastballs. Came into this game very hot. That time he swings through it.
We're in the midst of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Blues and the Stars. For game 2, it's on now. Russell Martin goes after that first pitch. The mindset of a hitter in these situations, it's a challenge, boy. You really got to stay positive. Of course, Russell's a veteran. He's been through these streaks in the past. Another fly ball to center. Kiermaier. The center fielder is there, and Ramirez has a 1-2-3 top half of the 8th inning. It's a 1-1 game. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Samsung Broadcast Studio. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. The Blue Jays are wrapping up their 3-game series here in St. Petersburg. They took the first 2 games with the Rays. Marcus Stroman, another good outing. 7 innings, 3 hits, a single run. That was a home run to Evan Longoria. He has walked 2 and struck out 8, pitching into the 8th inning. Hank Conger, the number 9 hitter, he has one of the 3 Rays hits on the afternoon. Logan Forsythe singled, first batter Stroman faced today.
They had a golden opportunity in that inning. That was the 3rd inning. Conger led off with a hit. Then after a strikeout, there was a walk. 2 best power hitters coming up, and Stroman buckled down and struck them both out.
Got Longoria and Corey Dickerson to end the 3rd and strand a couple of base runners.
And he kicked it into gear, and since that 3rd inning, after that walk to Miller, the only base runner they had was the Longoria home run. He has retired every other hitter.
14 of 15 batters that have come to the plate. Longoria hit that home run with 1 out in the 6th. Breaking ball in the dirt. Russell Martin knocks it down. He'll throw to first to complete the strikeout. That's number 9 for Stroman. He's getting stronger.
And third in the row. We got Geyer, Kiermaier to finish off the 7th, and now to open up the 8th inning, he drops that curveball on Hank Conger.
Alex Colomé and Xavier Cedeno, the righty and left-hander. Colomé is the closer. Cedeno picked up the win yesterday in that ball game. His second win of the season against no losses. Top of the order. Logan Forsythe has been relatively quiet this afternoon. 1 for 3. An inside breaking ball once again. We mentioned Forsythe has 4 home runs this season. All 4 of those home runs have come in the 7th inning or later. Ground ball. Donaldson takes his time. 2 away. First pitch of this at bat in my mind is a crucial pitch. Brad Miller is thinking about one thing.
Leaving. Right? He is a notorious first ball, fastball type of hitter. Looking for something that he can get for extra bases.
That's a good spot down and away. Not much can happen bad if you pitch down and away. Breaking ball. Boy, that's late break.
You saw it when he was warming up before the game today. There's Roberto Osuna starting to get loose. He looked very crisp when he was warming up before today's ball game.
Fly ball to center. Not that deep. Pilar makes the catch. Stroman has pitched 8 great innings here tonight. Giving up a run on 3 hits for the Blue Jays. It'll be number 9 hitter Ryan Goins. And the top of the order, Michael Saunders and Josh Donaldson. Donaldson has homered here this afternoon.
The winning number is
a game in the U.S. like many Blue Jay fans are here today at the Trop. You can share all your experiences as they happen with friends and family back home. With Roam Like Home with Rogers, you can use your phone exactly as you do at home, starting for $5 a day in the U.S. Go to Rogers.com/roamlikehome for more details. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. And if you were calling back home today, you'd say, man, I'm seeing a heck of a ball game here in Tampa Bay. Xavier Cedeno, he was a winning pitcher in yesterday's game. Cedeno came in and got the final 2 outs in the top of the 9th. He got Ryan Goins and then the pinch hitter Matt Dominguez. So he will pitch the 9th inning, at least start it against the Blue Jays, and he'll face a pinch hitter.
He only faced those 2 batters, got the win. He's only gone has gone less than an inning in his last 5 appearances. A couple of lefties scheduled, so Cedeno throws a lot of breaking balls. Struck out to Matt Dominguez with that breaking ball yesterday. Will face that pinch hitter.
Darwin Barney takes a first pitch strike on the breaking ball for the season. Barney batting .286. He has a homer. 4 RBIs. Darwin, as a career pinch hitter, just 3 for 32. Drills this one down the left field line. That's a fair ball up against the wall. Dyer digs it out. Here's the throw to second, and Barney has a leadoff double here in the 9th. He had a good idea he was going to get breaking balls after watching Cedeno yesterday, and he jumped all over that one.
And he got another breaking ball. Took the first one and then hits this one hard into the corner. The hardest thing for a pinch hitter, it's not getting loose to swing the bat. It's getting your legs loose when you hit a ball like this. Darwin Barney hustles into scoring position with a leadoff double here in the 9th inning.
His first double of the season puts the Blue Jays in a great position here in the top of the 9th.
You can do all the swinging underneath in the cage, and you can hit off the tee, but there's not really places for you to run to get your legs loose. So he had to hustle into second base.
Michael Saunders has gone 0 for 2 with a walk.
They got a sacrifice here, don't they?
Squares to bunt and pulls the bat back. Saunders has 12 sacrifice bunts in his career. Squares and takes ball 2.
First thing you are taught as a hitter if you are sacrificing is get a strike. Make sure that the pitch is in the strike zone, that you can handle it. The next thing you want to do is just get the ball down on the ground, preferably on the left side of the infield. You want to try and get Evan Longoria to field this baseball, and that'll give Barney a chance to get to third base.
2 balls, no strikes. Now it's 3-0. You got to throw a strike when they're trying to bunt. Danger on deck, but you can bet Cedeno won't face Donaldson.
If the Blue Jays have given him the take here, fake like you're going to bunt again. Get as small as you can.
Squares and takes ball 4. Boy, what a break for the Blue Jays after the leadoff double. 4 straight balls, and that's going to get Cedeno out of the game. Josh Donaldson will come to the plate. Now it's time for Drive of the Game, brought to you by the all-new Honda Civic 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Blue Jays have had 3 hits all afternoon, but the biggest is this one right here. They tried to go front door with that cutter. It stayed out over the middle of the plate, and Josh Donaldson hits it hard to left field. He homered in the 4th inning for the Blue Jays' only run this afternoon.
Tom Hallion having a conversation with Josh Donaldson. Xavier Cedeno is out. Alex Colomé is in. He is the closer, trying to keep this game tied. He'll have to deal with Josh Donaldson when we come back. Situation here, runners at first and second, nobody out, and none other than Josh Donaldson, the batter.
2, 3, 4, nobody out, and a couple of runners on. And Colomé has pitched in 8 games this year. He has saved us a game in his last 5 appearances, and they need saving right now in the situation they're in. First and second, nobody out. He's got a big arm, a good fastball, and he has been tough on the right-handed hitters this year. He's only given up 1 hit to a right-handed batter this year.
Donaldson has faced Colomé just twice. He's 1 for 2. Barney with a pinch double. He's at second. Saunders walked. He's at first. Nine home runs for the Saints, and he's 1 behind Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story for the major league lead. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Conger. He was able to keep the runners in their spot.
Boy, what a nice block by Conger. Give up part of your body just to keep this ball in front of you. Got that one in the stomach, then off of the arm. Colomé throws hard.
Of course, their closer, Brad Boxberger, is still on the disabled list. He underwent abdominal surgery to fix a core muscle. He has still not been active. Jose Bautista is on deck. Golden opportunity for the Blue Jays. They're in a tie game 1-1 with the heart of their order at the plate. That'll load the bases. A 4-pitch walk. Not much relief from Colomé to this point. Jim Hickey's out of the dugout quickly, the pitching coach.
How about that 3-0 pitch to Josh Donaldson? That had some movement on it. Almost like it was cutter, just in case he was swinging 3-0. But he ends up walking. Bases loaded, and a golden opportunity for the Blue Jays to blow this one open.
Jose Bautista has 5 career grand slams. He also has 29 career home runs against the Rays. That's most by any one player. The next highest total, Chris Davis, is hit 23.
Number 19, designated hitter.
I'll take it.
Ball game.
I'll take that grand slam. I'll take a single to right field. Anything right now to get a run for Marcus Stroman. Infield in. There's Marcus begging for the Blue Jays to get some runs for him.
Infield is in. Bautista at the plate. Breaking ball off the plate. Well, you couldn't have a better hitter at the plate with patience than Jose Bautista.
Yeah, no place to put him right now. Jose has been patient all season long. He has made that pitcher come to him.
5 career grand slams. Popped it back over the screen, out of play.
You know, and he's not going to get rattled either. He's had enough at bats in his big league career in these types of situations where he's not going to get rattled. He's got a game plan that he wants against Colomé. Now he's got to execute it.
Blue Jays need to bust this one wide open. 1-1 pitch. Off the plate, 2-1. Bautista, for his career with the bases loaded, we mentioned the 5 grand slams. He's hit 225. Pops this one over the screen. Coming into this at bat, Bautista had 89 at bats with the bases loaded and had driven in 85 runs. Blue Jays just need 1.
Yeah, I'll take one right here. I think Colomé would do him a favor by throwing him throwing him another breaking ball. He has become such a good breaking ball hitter.
He got a piece of it, but Conger holds on for the strikeout. That elevated fastball, you were right on. They weren't going to give him another breaking ball.
Yeah, I thought he would be doing him a favor by throwing him the breaking ball, and he throws him the heater. That one cut just a little bit. And how about Conger holding on to that foul tip? Watch it rattle around, and then he holds on to it for the strikeout.
Edwin Encarnacion hit 3 grand slams last season. He has 9 career grand slams. He's 0 for 3. Ground ball. Forsythe has nowhere to go but first, and that'll drive home the run from third. Darwin Barney scores the go-ahead run.
There's an instant where the shifts help out the Blue Jays and cross up the defense. A ground ball to the second baseman's right behind second base. There's nobody there at second to turn the double play. If they're in double play depth, that's at the shortstop. It's a 6-4-3 double play. But because they're in the shift, watch where Forsythe catches the ball. The first reaction of the shortstop, go after the ball, but it's right at him. He can't flip it to him. They're not going to finish off that double play, and Blue Jays get the run. They're loving that.
There's a perfect illustration of how that shift can cost you. He plays straight away, especially with the velocity of Coleman. I mean, he's going to give you that hard fastball. But the RBI, go-ahead RBI for Encarnacion is 16th of the season. And the Blue Jays have a 2-1 lead. Saunders at third, Donaldson at second, and Troy Tulowitzki. 2 balls and no strikes. Two outs, a run in. Darwin Barney got it started with a pinch hit double. For Barney, that's just his 4th career pinch hit. And it was a big one, boy. You talk about a team desperate for a hit. Osuna standing ready in the Blue Jays bullpen.
Yeah, just something to get it started. And they did with that double. Now the Blue Jays with a chance. One more hit here can get some insurance runs. Big insurance runs.
Swinging the drive deep to left field. Get up, ball. A 3-run homer for Tulowitzki. There's some insurance.
Just what the doctor ordered right there from Troy Tulowitzki. They're begging for a big hit. They had hit 7 home runs and 6 of them solo. Finally, they hit a home run with a couple of guys on, and that's a big one. That blows this game open. It's now 5-1. And he's feeling really good about that one.
He had been given so many opportunities to drive in runs, and this is a no-doubter. Little skip out of the batter's box. Home run number 5 for Tulowitzki now has driven home 13. Pilar singles to left. A 1-hopper to the left fielder, Brandon Geyer. Boy, that's nice. A 4-run inning in the 9th. Something you don't see very often here in Tampa Bay.
They bring in their closer to try and save the game in a non-save situation, and the Blue Jays had other plans.
So Colomé is out of the ball game. The Blue Jays touch him up for 4 runs, couple of walks, a double and a home run. Ryan Webb into the ball game. Tulowitzki with a big 3-run home run here in the 9th inning, part of a 4-run inning, and he has really been battling hard, and he comes up with the biggest hit of the series to this point.
Blue Jays looking for a big hit, and Tulowitzki delivers. It's now Ryan Webb, 7 games this year. He's got an elevated ERA. The Blue Jays saw him on Friday.
Pilar now in a rundown as he is going to keep it alive, and he ran into the runner, and he's saying no interference as the second base umpire, Mike Rippiger, and now John Gibbons is going to come out and argue the fact that Pilar was still in the baseline, and Tim Leeper is there as well. So Pilar has been called out for running out of the baseline, and Tim Leeper can't believe it. And watch where he is in relationship to the baseline.
First of all, he's surprised by the pickoff play. Now he's just going to try and stay in it until they mess up. Once that pitcher has it, now you can try and do something, and I think he's got an argument.
Yeah, he was well within the baseline when he made contact at first base, and he did a good job. And you can see Tim Leeper, he's got the best angle from his first base coach's box. He can see the base path, and Kevin Pilar was well within the baseline when he made contact.
He's going to carry his conversation with, and his argument now with the crew chief. That's Joe West, who's come over to join this conversation. And it looked like Pilar, and players will do that. They'll try and run into one of those defenders on purpose, but that just looked like Pilar was turning, and there was the pitcher. And if you make contact, he should be awarded second base.
Right. And everybody says, well, you know, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is you keep the inning going. The Blue Jays are trying to continue to build momentum. And Kevin Pilar is a very instinctive base runner.
He's in the base path right there. He's turning. There's the pitcher. That should be interference.
Yeah. And the pitcher should peel out of the way much more dramatically than he did. But John Gibbons is not going to give up the argument easily. But Kevin Pilar is called out for running into the pitcher out of the baseline. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. The Blue Jays score 4 big runs in the top half of the inning. They take a 5-1 lead. The big swing of the bat, a 3-run home run by Troy Tulowitzki, his first of May and his 5th of the season. 5-1 Blue Jays.
Everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. Roberto Osuna in. It is not a save situation, but Blue Jays are trying to win the series. He is perfect 6 for 6. Evan Longoria goes after his first pitch, rips it to left field, and lead off single here in the 9th. Osuna into the game to pitch. Justin Smoke at first base. You can see he waved around the fact that he's going to play behind the runner. Darwin Barney got the pinch double to start the inning and scored the go-ahead run. He's now playing second base defensively.
As tough as the game was last night to lose in walk-off fashion, if you can hang on and win this game and win this series, maybe gather some momentum heading back home. It's a tough homestand coming up for the Blue Jays.
4 against the Rangers, 3 against the Dodgers. LA tied atop the National League West. 3 teams jammed up atop the West. Dodgers, the Giants, and the Rockies. Arizona's only a half game back. Strike 2 to Corey Dickerson. Dickerson has walked, struck out, and grounded out. Foul tip. Held on to by Russell Martin. That's the first out of the bottom of the ninth.
Osuna's got one of the best chase percentages in the American League, meaning that he'll throw to left-handers the ball just off the plate and they will chase it. Because his command is so good, this thing was set up with a changeup, then he goes with that fastball away, they chase it, and he gets the all-important first out here in the ninth inning.
Steven Souza Jr. He's gone over 3. Blue Jays have 5 hits. The Rays have 4. Thinking about tomorrow's game. Rangers will be in town. A.J. Griffin for Texas will open up against R.A. Dickey on Monday night. Foul. Joe Biagini getting some throwing in, made a nice play.
Dropped the ball and then caught the line drive right at him. Like nothing happened. He is just up getting some throwing. Osuna's in here to finish this one off. Souza, the batter for Tampa Bay, has got a lot of power. But like young power hitters, they can go into funks and go into some slumps. And right now, he's not swinging it really well. He's getting beat by the fastball. Marcus had him talking to himself this afternoon.
Stroman with 9 strikeouts. He really put together a good game. For Stroman, that's a career high in strikeouts.
He got better as the game went along, if you ask me. He struck out a batter in the 6th, 2 more in the 7th. He got another one in the 8th inning. So he saw the finish line and he was sprinting to it.
Off speed pitch tapped foul by Souza. Yeah, you know what? Those thoroughbred starters, they can sense when you got to ratchet it up a bit. And Stroman has that innate ability to sense when it's time to change speeds, when it's time to mix it up, but he reached back for a little extra, finishing up this ball game. Retired the last 8 he faced after the home run by Longoria. When you look at his pitch count over the course of his 8 innings, he threw 24 pitches in the 3rd and no more than 14 in any other inning.
Yeah, he started dialing it in. He also had an inning where he had 5 pitches. That really helped him to get that extra inning, that 8th inning. And now he's in line for the win.
3-2, 1 out. Strike 3 called. That's been a strike all afternoon.
Steven Souza was on his way to first base, thought that that ball was down and away. But you're right, Tom Hallion has been very consistent with that pitch down and away. We saw it when Jake Odorizzi was on the mound. We saw it when Marcus Stroman was on the mound, and that's just a perfect 2-strike pitch, down and away.
First strikeout of the afternoon. Jose Bautista was called out on that same pitch back in the 1st inning. The Rays down to their final out. Logan Morrison 0 for 3. There goes the runner, and Longoria will go into second base. Defensive indifference. No stolen base. Two outs. Morrison is now 8 for 63. His average has dropped to 0.95.
Without a home run, without an RBI, and 8 total bases. So if you're the Blue Jays, this is the guy you want to see with 2 outs in the 9th.
Osuna, wise beyond his years. He has been around the game his whole life. His uncle pitched in the big leagues. His father pitched in Mexico. He's just 21 years old, but boy, he sees the big picture.
Came up to me in Baltimore and said, "Hey, how's my fastball?" I said, "I think it's pretty good." He could hit the corner with that fastball with the best of them.
Popped up. Russell Martin back near the screen. He's got room and makes the catch. That's the ball game. The Blue Jays win the series. Marcus Stroman with the win. Stroman, a terrific job as he improves to 4-0 on the season. How about Darwin Barney with a big leadoff double, then Troy Tulowitzki with a 3-run home run.
Did the Blue Jays ever need this one right here to win this series down here? Donaldson with a home run. You mentioned the Barney hit and the home run by Tulowitzki to blow this one open. But what a day for Marcus Stroman as he gets a career high in strikeouts and wins on his birthday.
Big day for the Blue Jays. Big day for Stroman. Marcus improves to 4-0. The Blue Jays will be back at it tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Texas is in town. R.A. Dickel will open up. We'll see you tomorrow night. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.